A meadow stained red, the Pahalgam terrorist attack. The idyllic tranquility of Baisaran Meadow in Pahalgam, Kashmir, was shattered on April 22, 2025. Gunmen, emerging from the forested hills, opened fire on a group of tourists, turning a scene of joyous leisure into a landscape of carnage. This horrific act of terrorism left 26 people dead, including 25 Indian nationals and 1 Nepalese citizen. Among the deceased were 2 foreign nationals, adding a grim international dimension to the tragedy. The picturesque meadow, once a symbol of Kashmir's natural beauty, now bore the indelible stain of violence. The attack, swift and brutal, targeted innocent civilians, their lives extinguished in a senseless act of hatred. The terrorists, taking advantage of the non-motorable terrain, managed to delay the response of security forces, compounding the tragedy. The incident sent shockwaves across India and beyond, a stark reminder of the volatile situation in the Kashmir Valley. The world watched in horror as details of the massacre unfolded, the tranquility of the meadow replaced with the chilling echo of gunshots. This was not just an attack on innocent lives, it was an assault on the very soul of Kashmir, a land long associated with breathtaking beauty and warm hospitality. The attack served as a grim reminder of the deep-seated tensions and the ever-present threat of violence that continue to plague the region. As the dust settled, the world grappled with the enormity of the loss and the unsettling questions it raised about the future of peace in Kashmir. The face of terror, the resistance front and their motives. Responsibility for the Pahalgam attack was swiftly claimed by the Resistance Front, or TRF, a militant group operating in Kashmir. The TRF, an offshoot of the notorious Lashkar-e-Taiba, has been implicated in numerous acts of violence in the region in recent years. This latest attack, however, marked a significant escalation in their campaign of terror, both in terms of its audacity and the devastating human cost. The TRF's motives for the Pahalgam attack appeared to be multifaceted. In their statement claiming responsibility, the group cited the issuance of domicile certificates to non-locals as a primary grievance. This policy, implemented by the Indian government in 2019, has been a source of significant controversy in Kashmir, with many locals viewing it as an attempt to alter the demographic makeup of the region. The attack, therefore, can be seen as a violent expression of this deep-seated resentment and fear. However, the TRF's motives likely extend beyond this single issue. The group, believed to be operating with the support of elements within Pakistan, has a broader agenda of destabilizing the region and undermining India's authority in Kashmir. The timing of the attack, coinciding with high-profile visits of foreign dignitaries to India, suggests a calculated attempt to embarrass the Indian government and project an image of instability to the international community. A nation responds: immediate actions and diplomatic fallout. The immediate aftermath of the Pahalgam attack saw a swift and decisive response from the Indian government. Security forces launched a massive manhunt to track down the perpetrators, combing the dense forests surrounding the attack site. Security was immediately heightened across the region, particularly in southern districts, to prevent further attacks. The government, determined to bring the perpetrators to justice, announced a thorough investigation into the incident, vowing to leave no stone unturned in their pursuit of the terrorists. On the diplomatic front, India wasted no time in taking strong action against Pakistan. The government immediately barred Pakistani nationals from the SARC visa exemption program and revoked existing visas. In a further escalation, Pakistani military advisors were expelled from New Delhi and Indian advisors were withdrawn from Islamabad. This reciprocal action highlighted the severity with which India viewed Pakistan's alleged role in the attack. Adding to the diplomatic pressure, the Atari checkpost, a vital trade and travel route between the two countries, was closed indefinitely. The Indus Water Treaty, a long-standing agreement governing the sharing of water resources, was also put on hold, signaling India's willingness to utilize all diplomatic tools at its disposal. These decisive actions reflected India's growing frustration with what it perceives as Pakistan's continued support for terrorist groups operating in Kashmir. The attack, coming on the heels of the extradition of 2611 mastermind Tahawur Rana from the US to India, further fueled tensions between the nuclear-armed neighbors. Shifting sands, implications for Kashmir and beyond. The Pahalgam attack has sent ripples of uncertainty across various sectors, raising concerns about the future of Kashmir and its already fragile peace. The immediate impact was felt most acutely by the tourism industry, the lifeblood of the Kashmiri economy. Following the attack, there was a near-total collapse in tourist bookings, with cancellations exceeding 90%. Airlines responding to the mass exodus of tourists were forced to add extra flights from Srinagar airport. The attack dealt a devastating blow to the livelihoods of countless Kashmiris dependent on the tourism sector, pushing the region further into economic uncertainty. The attack has also cast a long shadow on India-Pakistan relations. The already strained ties between the two nuclear-armed neighbors plummeted further, with dialogue channels effectively frozen. The incident fueled a war of words between the two countries, with each accusing the other of sponsoring terrorism. The attack served as a stark reminder of the deep mistrust that continues to plague India-Pakistan relations, making any prospect of meaningful dialogue a distant hope. Furthermore, the Pahalgam attack has reignited the debate about the effectiveness of the Indian government's Kashmir policy post-2019. Critics argue that the government's decision to revoke Article 370, coupled with the demographic changes brought about by the domicile law, has only served to alienate the local population and exacerbate the sense of alienation. The attack, they argue, is a direct consequence of these policies, highlighting the need for a more nuanced and conciliatory approach to address the underlying grievances fueling the conflict.